On this week's show, is Peloton Lanebreak coming to the tread?
Plus, Peloton discounts for Amazon Prime Day. Adrian Williams is back, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Mills.
Welcome to episode 134 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I'm Amanda Siegel, and I am excited to have our special guest co-host with me again this week, John Mills. Hey, John.
Hey, Amanda. How are you?
I am fantastic, and I'm even more fantastic knowing that I get to do this with you this week.
Oh,
you know that I always love to. I love to have you next to me and get to do this. So yeah. How have you been?
I've been good. Yeah, I enjoy this too. So this is fun. This is the fun part of the week. Everything else, is work. So this is good.
Exactly. Well, it is. It's good to have you, and it's good to get the show on while John Pruitt is gallivanting in Los Angeles with his soon-to-be superstardom son. Is that what they're hoping for?
Wow.
Adorable. I mean, yeah. Jackson's adorable, and I think he would be, he's got that look that is just so unique, with his orange hair, with his like reddish hair and that quirky personality. So, I hope they've had a successful week. We'll hear all about it. Yeah, we'll hear all about it next week.
I can't wait to hear about it.
Exactly. So hopefully they've had a good week, and but otherwise, everything is good. I got the all clear, John. So I had my final 3-month post-op on Tuesday, and he told me that I am ready to roll. So
good to go.
So happy.
Oh, that's good.
But it's interesting. It's tough. It is tough. I've been on the platform from walking. I'd been walking and I'd been doing yoga and, that type of stuff. But to really get back and push myself, oh my goodness, in 7 months, my fitness level went from, 100 to 0.
Yeah.
And it's humbling. It is humbling. Oh my goodness.
That's tough. Yeah. That's tough. Like there's those two things you mentioned there, that talking about how just being down and you can't do it can kind of hit your mental, right? And then when you come back and you realize what you have to work back to, that can kind of hit you mentally. So yeah, I can completely relate. But yeah, I'm glad that you're back. That's awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that because, it had been a complete, mental mind blow over the last few months. And, I soldiered on and I got through it. And I'm really so grateful to be on the other side of it. So I don't for a minute, I'm just so happy that this was all it was and we got to the other side. And it's humbling though. There is no question. And I probably for everybody listening to the show who are, fitness addicts, they can relate to
absolutely
how, but I think what it also has taught me is, I think we're a little hard on ourselves and I think we're a little hard on our bodies. Mm-hmm. And this has definitely taught me that, we can't be quite so hard. We need a break every now and again. We definitely need a break every now and again.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's hard to see it when you're going through that stuff. It's hard to see it as like a season. You're like, that you'll just get past. It's hard to see it that way, but that's what it is. And I agree with you. Yeah, as you get older, like you can't beat your body up the same anymore.
No, I really do have to listen to your body.
I'm with you on that
one. That's what I'm doing, and we'll roll on and get to be an improved me, a different me, as Jeffrey McKeachin says. He says, Amanda, you're not going to come back the old you. You're going to come back a different you, and that's
there.
Fine.
It is.
I'm absolutely fine with that.
That's right.
All right, John. Well, before we get started with the news, we always like to remind you folks how you can keep up to date with all of our content content across all of our platforms. Every episode is, of course, released on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button to make sure that you never miss an episode. And if you prefer to listen to us whilst on the move, every show is also available on all podcast platforms. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV and hit the subscribe button. And finally, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Just search for Pelo Buddy and follow us on all of those platforms for all of the latest news. And now, John, let's get on with the show.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right. Well, Peloton is hinting a new feature coming to the Tread, which appears to be the introduction of Peloton's video game Lanebreak, based on images that have been shared by members on various social media platforms. So members have reported receiving a pop-up image on their Tread devices with the header, "Something new is coming," and a message that reads, "Move like never before. Change your walks, change your jogs, change your runs. In a few weeks, we're adding something to your Tread that will change the way you move." There is also a new banner on the home screen with the same message. Around the same time, some members had spotted a second banner on the home page of their Tread that explicitly said, "Lanebreak for Tread." So given the timing of this banner, it seems likely that Peloton is in fact preparing to bring Lanebreak to the Tread. Peloton's Senior Director of Product Management, David Packles, had confirmed at the 2022 Homecoming panel that Peloton was actively exploring adding Lanebreak to the Tread. So the timeline provided suggests that this upcoming announcement will be made in early July. I have seen it on my Tread, John. Have you?
Oh, really? No, I haven't seen it. But that is exciting, though.
It is exciting. You know, Lanebreak is incredibly popular on the bike. I mean, folks that do it love it.
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah. I'm really interested to see how that plays out on the Tread. If there's anything, I know it's kind of based on, resistance and cadence. Like, I'm assuming it's going to be like a similar thing from a Tread perspective, but I'm interested to see it there.
I know. So we'll wait with bated breath, but I think it's coming. And I think that the Lanebreak folks that, enjoy doing that and sometimes just don't like to, be in a structured class or work with an instructor, have the ability to get on the Tread and do something like that. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Gamification stuff on the devices, I think, is all good. The more they can do that, probably the better. So,
especially for the younger, kind of the younger generation, my son, for example, is a great example. He loves gaming, and I think if it, he kind of liked the bike, but he's not a huge bike person. He would prefer the Tread. So this could be a great way to get him moving, on the Tread.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I don't know. I might hurt myself trying to on the Tread. I don't know.
Being competitive, right?
Being all competitive. Yeah. I don't know. I'll pull something. I don't know. But it sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Peloton has recently updated the difficulty levels on Peloton Lanebreak. Gamification ride experience on the bike and bike plugs that we've been talking about. Members have reported receiving a pop-up alert on their device informing them of the change. The message indicates there are updated difficulty level names and ranges, allowing the user to select a more precise difficulty option that works best for them. It also indicates previous high scores will appear on the leaderboard under the new difficulty levels. When Lanebreak first launched, there were 4 difficulty levels. There were beginner, intermediate, advanced, and expert. Moving forward, members can expect to see 5 difficulty levels: light, moderate, hard, challenging, and extreme. Now, along with the new labels, there are slight changes to the resistance ranges for each level. The new light level provides an entirely new resistance range, while the other 4 new levels match up closely with the previous levels. The breakdown of the new difficulty levels and resistance are Light will be between 15 and 56 resistance. Moderate will be between 20 and 61 resistance. Hard will be between 25 and 66. Challenging between 30 and 71. And extreme will be between 35 and 76. When I'm looking at these things, that's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, that they kind of expanded the ranges and give people kind of another level to kind of look to or kind of fit into within these ranges. But it makes me wonder. I'm not a big gamer, and I don't use Lanebreak that much. It makes me wonder, what the aficionado, the person who really kind of uses this, what do they think about these expanded ranges? You know?
I'd be curious to know too. But as I said in the previous story, I think that there are folks that really like using it. So, and clearly with them making all these modifications and, just the music stuff that they've got on there, which is so awesome. I see it being, a great way for them to continue promoting something like that and just having a different way of working out.
Right. When I'm looking at the ranges as well, I see extreme is 35 to 76. I'm nowhere near managing in that range, but I know I've seen other people who they seem like they're managing resistance levels that are in the 60s. And I wonder if they're going to look at this and they're going to need extreme plus 100. Or something,
Funny. Yeah, exactly. Right. Well, there's definitely a difference, I've always said, between bike and bike plus as well.
Right.
So, as long as people are, as long as people are moving their bodies, I don't really care how it's done. It's just nice to see people being excited about doing something else, on the bike. And all right, so Control Room have come back and said that by doing this new extreme level, that folks will have to recalibrate their bike. Correct?
And if they add a new level, that new level might be you need to recalibrate.
You need a new bike. Oh, that's too funny. All right. Well, good. All right. Well, moving on. Amazon has announced that Peloton will be a featured product during the 2023 Prime Day sales. These take place in July, and this year it'll be the 11th and 12th of July. Prime Day, for folks who are not aware, is Amazon's annual sale specifically for Prime members who pay that annual fee to receive access to Prime shipping and products. So during the sale, Prime members can expect to see discounts on popular brands like Lancome, Victoria's Secret, Yeti, The Drop, Sony, and now Peloton. They will also be included in there. Specific details about the discounts on Peloton products have not been released yet, but during the Prime Day early access sale last November, customers were able to receive $220 off the original Peloton bike, $45 off the guide, and 25% off the heart rate band and cycling shoes. So we assume that similar discount levels will in fact be offered for the 2023 Prime Day event. Peloton initially launched on Amazon in August of 2022. And since then, the Bike Plus has also become available on Amazon. The company was included in Amazon's Prime Day early access sale last November and was reportedly one of the top sellers. So that is pretty interesting stuff, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I just think it was a good idea in general that they got on, the Amazon marketplace. Everybody's buying everything from Amazon these days, right?
Exactly.
And then
as they were closing down the stores, it made sense. People weren't going into a showroom to take a look at it. So you might as well just get it on Amazon, and you can return it if you don't want it.
Right. And then, everybody I know tends to have Prime, so.
Right.
So probably I can take advantage of these things. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, there's a new Chase Sapphire private Peloton event. Individuals with a Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card were provided the ability to reserve an in-studio bike ride, live DJ ride with Matt Wilpers on July 21st. The cost was $35 or 3,500 Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card points. The communication also indicated that the cost also included a picture with the instructor, a complimentary lift ride to the Seaport after class, and a complimentary drink ticket in the Sapphire Lounge at the Seaport. Each card holder was given the opportunity to purchase up to 2 tickets. Unfortunately, if you have a Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card and have not yet taken advantage of this offer, it is already sold out. But stay tuned. I'm sure they'll have many more of these in the future. That's I remember when they first announced this partnership with Chase, and I'm like, I don't have one of those cards. Like, what are they going to do anyway? And then 6 months later, there's a person in my group, and they're going, I'm going to this event. It's through Chase. So I guess it's kind of like their deals that they have with corporate, where the corporations have their own private events as well. Like Jen Sherman was just at my home office 2 days ago.
Really?
Yeah, so it's very specific to whatever the particular contract is. And so I guess if you have a Chase Sapphire Reserve credit card, here's an event that that have that.
I mean,
have an
I
option.
have a Chase, but I do have a Chase. I have the United Chase card. So it doesn't apply to me. But yeah, I mean, it's fantastic and it's great. It's kind of like that American Express early access to tickets. I feel that it's something cool like that. So, good for those folks. And I'm glad to see these it's giving, but you know what I love about it? And it'll actually take me into the next story, John. What I love about it is it's giving different people an opportunity to get into the studio.
Right.
So I'm having a really hard time. And I'm sorry, folks, if you're listening to the show and you're one of these people, but I'm having a really hard time with seeing the same faces in the studio.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And when I try and log on, can't get in.
Right.
So it's a nice way of giving those folks, that have a Chase card, but wouldn't have been able to have gotten in an opportunity to get into the studio and get to do something fun. And this is even nicer because it gives you that extra, the cocktail hour afterwards and hang out with Matt, who is just the coolest human being on this planet. I mean, the sweetest, coolest man. So that should be really fun. That should be really fun.
Absolutely. Shout out to Matt. Yeah, he's awesome. I love him.
Exactly. All right. Well, I'm going to head into the next story, which is that we had another Instructor studio swap released this past Thursday. So Ben Alldis and Erik Jager will be teaching out of the New York studio next month. Ben will have a 30-minute 90s rock ride on Monday, July the 10th. And folks can get to work out with Erik Jager in English on Friday, July the 14th with a 20-minute full body strength, or on Saturday, July 16th with a 30-minute EDM ride. So you want to hear me? You want to hear me moan, John? I actually had a class booked for the 10th. So I was going to be in New York that weekend, and when I tried to get classes 6 weeks ago, I got into one class and was waitlisted for 2. I'm now in 2 classes. I'm still waitlisted for the 3rd, but I could only get in. I could only get in for these 3 classes the entire weekend. Okay. So I thought this is fantastic. I mean, Ben is, I worked out with Ben back in the old studio in London. I've known Ben forever, and I really, really, really wanted to be able to work out with him. And I did everything right. John,
it's tough.
It didn't even pop up. It didn't even populate until it was sold out. So I refreshed. I mean, I'm not a stupid woman. I'm an educated woman.
Tough.
I know what the hell I'm doing.
Right.
I do not know how folks got into that. So if you were lucky enough to get any of those classes, I'd love to hear. But I
there must be a trick to it. There must be a trick to it. I've tried.
I'm hoping some kind, nice person is going to say, I got an Amanda and you can have my spot.
There must be a trick to it because it's a tough thing. Like I've tried one time and then the time came and then the next thing I know I was dropped down to, I don't know, 1,000th place or whatever. Like I don't
Well, that happened to me too. So I got in on my computer and I got in on my phone. I was knocked out of my computer and I was refreshing. I was doing what I needed to. The next thing I refreshed and it was like, oh, you are now 1,564. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
Right.
No, I'm not. But anyway, I think it's fun. I'm glad that they're coming. I love this instructor swap. I think it's an amazing way for folks to get to work out with, the instructors that are across the pond. So it's a wonderful way for them to be doing this. And I think it's fantastic. So hopefully they don't stop doing it. And, good for those folks that got in. And who knows? Yeah. Maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe there'll be an opportunity for me to get in.
Hopefully so. But yeah, it's great both ways. It's great for the instructor, right? They have like a new audience that they can kind of see in person and they can get to know each other and maybe gain a new following. And then it's good for the rider because now someone that maybe they hadn't taken before, but now they're here, and they have a little more access. They take them and maybe they find someone that's better and helps them on their journey. So I think it's all good. We should do this more often. Yeah, it's good stuff.
100%. Love it. I think now also with this Peloton on tour and some of the, international instructors coming out to the US gives them that opportunity to be able to do that. So I think that's kind of cool. Really cool.
Yeah, it's all good. I like it. All right. So if you thought Peloton completed all of their artist series for the month of June, well, think again. Peloton announced a major artist series featuring the music of pop icon and living legend Madonna. The series launched on Tuesday, June 20th, and runs through Friday, June 23rd. There will be a total of 19 classes across 6 modalities, taught in English, German, and Spanish. While many of the classes will air live, there will also be a number of pre-recorded drops on the on-demand library. Note that this is Peloton's second Madonna artist series. The first took place back in 2019, and the classes are still available in the on-demand library, even though other classes from the same time period have since been purged. Members will receive an artist series badge for this series for completing any of the upcoming Madonna classes. I think that, Madonna, some of these names are so huge, I would assume that people are really excited and ready to take that class, right?
Oh my God. I have to tell you, John, I did it. I did a couple classes. I did.
Oh, okay.
Maddie had, now let me make sure I get this right. Maddie had a walk. Yeah. Didn't have a walk. Susie Chan had a run, which an extra 10, which was fantastic. Wow. But I think I didn't get to do Benny's. Benny has a 45-minute. It is in German, and I haven't gotten to do that one yet. It dropped. He did it live on Thursday, and I didn't have the chance to do it. But I did do Leanne's on Thursday. It was the 30-minute.
Yeah.
She killed it. She absolutely killed it. She came out looking like an absolute goddess. She was spectacular. I mean, she is just so beautiful, but she looked spectacular, John. And
that's awesome.
Ride, she threw so much in there. What I loved about it was she actually cut some of the songs short so that she could get more of them into those 30 minutes.
Right.
I mean, she said she could have had an 8-hour playlist. I mean,
of course,
it's so hard to cut.
It's Madonna, right?
But,
right.
It was really, I had ridden with her a couple weeks ago, but really, not hard because I still wasn't allowed to ride. But since now I've been given the full go ahead to ride, I put everything into it and wow. All I can say is, wow, it was absolutely fantastic. So
that's
definitely,
awesome.
Folks, look into those. This is a great artist series that I think they've done an amazing job with. So really, really cool. All right. Well, Peloton is continuing their German language reloaded artist series over the summer. So this series will feature 6 past artist series updated with classes in German. So it's including Depeche Mode, Elton John, Elvis Presley, Cher, Bob Marley, and the Beatles. The classes will be released on Sundays throughout the summer. The first classes in the series aired back on Sunday, June 18th, with 2 Depeche Mode classes taught in German. There was a 20-minute German outdoor run with Tobias Heinz and a 20-minute ride with Charlotte Wiedenbach, and that was also on the 18th. So this is the second round of Peloton's German language artist series updates. They previously had added classes to the artist series for Prince, Shakira, Guns N' Roses, Tina Turner, Coldplay, and Madonna back in the spring of 2023. Folks that are doing these will have the opportunity to earn a badge for these new German Artist Series classes. However, Peloton has quietly updated the badge, so they didn't say anything. Even if you earn the badge for taking one of the classes from the first installment, that badge will no longer appear on your profile and will have been replaced with this new badge. The Bob Marley classes are already updated on the upcoming schedule as encores, and these will drop on June 25th. So lots of fun things for the German community to look forward to, because in the past, these were all obviously just English rides, English classes, and now folks will be able to get to do them in German. So, and then for the German community too, this weekend is the second London calling for all the German members. So they had released, I'm not sure if you were aware of this, John, but they had released these dates way in advance. So they already have them through the end of the year. There's another one in September, and then there'll be one again in November. But these allow German members to be able to book way in advance for classes. And it's primarily on Saturday and Sunday with only the German instructors. All the classes are in German. And they really coordinate a fun experience in the studio. So it's not just a matter of going in and doing a class. They have games. They have a cocktail party.
Wow.
They have, time for folks to mingle. And Nico Serrani had gone into London. So the yoga instructor from the States who does the classes in German has traveled to London for this weekend to be able to be there and participate in it as well, which is fantastic. So that's a really cool way. I know that the last one looked amazing, and I did say to Benny, God, I wish I spoke German. This was so much fun. I mean, they were doing the Congo line, and they were having so much fun in the studio.
I love all of that.
Are fantastic. I do a lot. I do a lot of classes with Jeffrey and Benny, and certainly will keep going. But all of the instructors are just amazing. So
I love everything about it. I like the stuff that makes things, you're kind of digging into different international locations and folks that might expand kind of the platform. I love that. I love like when people get together and then the community gets involved and you have, the parties and the get-togethers, and that sounds fun. But you know what else? Like badges, I never go back and look at them. But anytime I see a badge come up after I've taken the class, it does make you feel, I do get like, like I did something, right? Yeah. I do like badges,
You know what it was, and I agree with you. So I agree with everything you've just said. But with the badges, it's funny that you say that though, because I haven't been on the bike that, much. And when I did the Madonna ride on Thursday, I loved it because I got the swarm because there were so many people that I was riding with. I got the Madonna badge. I got the Artist Series badge. I got a sneaky PR, which was great. So that was awesome. And because what I had done was, I really wanted to be kind to myself. So what I did was when I had the injury and got back on the bike a couple weeks ago, I actually reset my PRs. Because I figured I was never going to be where I was before, and I wanted to be able to work my way up. So when I did my first class, obviously a couple weeks ago, I got a PR because it was, the first class since I had reset it. And then today I was able to go 4 points over what I had done last time. So that was kind of fun.
That's good.
And, it's a way of me showing myself that I'm building myself back up and, getting to where I need to be. So that was kind of cool.
That's cool. I should do that. I should reset my PRs. I never have.
There's nothing wrong with doing that. If you feel that you've been kind of plateauing and because there's something about pushing yourself. And today I did, I really saw myself kind of edging towards, because you know how it shows you, where you are. So I kind of was edging myself and I was like, you know what, Amanda, you could do this. And in the last 10 minutes, I really pushed myself. And, I was 4 points over. I said, okay, I'm going to get to this number. And I did. And I love that. I felt so good about it afterwards. So
you've got me thinking about it. For that very reason, kind of, it helps push you when you have something that you can kind of look at and measure towards.
Definitely.
I think I might do the same.
Because I stopped looking at other people's. I don't care what other people are.
Me either.
I decided a long time ago. I used to get so caught up in that, and it would just drive me insane. Now I just look at, and so now it's just me versus me. I mean, I have other people on the leaderboard when I'm working out, and good luck to them if they're ahead of me. But I like just doing it, especially where I'm at, right now. So that.
Yeah, I'm the same. I agree. I'm the same. Cool. Well, Adrian Williams is back. And it seems he's also recorded new content recently that may drop on demand soon. But to quote him from his Instagram post, he said, "It took a total of 8 weeks to recover. During my time off, I did a lot of reflecting and a lot of relaxing. Did I miss working out? Yes. What I miss more was the positive change I have in people's lives on a day-to-day basis." He ended his post with, "I'm back. Be on the lookout, y'all. There's a storm brewing." So his first class back, I believe, was a 20-minute glutes and leg strength class on Tuesday, June 20th. He also had a 20-minute HIIT cardio today, June 22nd today. So welcome back, Adrian. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of folks that are really excited about seeing Adrian back on the platform.
Oh, for sure. And you know what? I feel his, again, I mean, I don't want to make this all about me, but I feel his pain. I mean, I know what it's like when you're off the platform. It's the same with Kirsten Ferguson. She's off the platform right now. And for me, it's just a member. I can't, it's so tough. So I can only imagine what it's going to be like for the instructors. I mean, this is their livelihood. This is their livelihood.
Yeah, they're used to interacting with all these people and doing all these workouts and getting feedback from all these people. Yeah, it's got to be a little rough, but
well, I know awesome. That there are definitely a lot of Thunder Squad folks that are very happy to see that gorgeous man back on the platform.
There are a lot of people.
And let's talk about another gorgeous man, Alex Toussaint. So this is a calling for all his walk gang members. If you love Alex indoors and on the tread, you can now find him doing outdoor audio walks. So a first ever 20 minutes power walk has loaded with a super awesome playlist. I did take a look at the playlist before we recorded. And it just was just upbeat. It was a power walk, having Alex in your ear, pushing you as he does, in the tread studio or on, in the bike studio. Now you can get to have him. And you know what, John, with the weather, turning and it being so gorgeous, to be able to just kind of stick him in your ears and head on outdoors for some fun in the sun, is fantastic. So this was his first audio that he dropped, which I'm sure will then, bring on many more in the future. So that was nice to see.
He's so good. He's so good at he's so good at articulating a motivational point and being really clear with it. So I don't imagine that in an outdoor walk that talent he has there is probably helpful. So that's good stuff.
It is good stuff because I'm always a little bit intimidated by him on the bike and the tread. So being able to do, and I love to walk outside, and especially during the summer, I do a lot of that. Yeah. And it definitely is nicer to be able to do an audio walk outside than to do a tread walk outside. I mean, Maddie Majacomo always encourages members to take his classes outside if they're not audio. But your metrics come up different, and I get a little irritated with that. So it'll be nice and hopefully hopefully Alex will drop many more of those.
Right.
And then, folks, just a reminder that Peloton have shared that there will be no live classes at PSNY and PSL July 3rd and 4th. So that means that there are no live member classes on Monday the 3rd in observance of July 4th holiday. And there will be no live recorded classes on Tuesday either. So just prepare yourselves. Hopefully the Americans will all be having their, July 4th barbecues and won't be bothered about the fact that there are no live classes. But for everybody else, the Canadians, the Australians, the Brits, there's tons on demand. So just go grab something on demand because there is so much out there.
Somebody's going to ask or say something. You know that, right?
We know it is. We just know it is. We just know it is.
That's funny. So, Peloton carried out another round of class library maintenance on June 16th. This was the largest removal yet, with nearly 4 weeks worth of classes being removed. The exact classes impacted were those filmed between August 7th and September 2nd of 2019. Only 2 classes were spared during this round, both from the Chainsmokers featured artist series. The 30-minute Chainsmokers ride with Matt Wilpers from August 29th, 2019, and the 30-minute Chainsmokers run with Olivia Amato from August 29th. This is the 4th week in a row Peloton has removed a minimum of 3 weeks worth of classes. Peloton has previously shared that they may preserve some classes from an artist series that are part of a program or that are particularly popular with members for one reason or another. However, this is not the case across the board. For example, Just King's Music Fest series has not been spared in the most recent purges, though have not been spared. Though not an official artist series, some members did expect those rides to be saved. 3 different Music Fest rides were removed in this week class purges from August 10th, the Lollapalooza, August 17th, Woodstock, and the August 24th Stagecoach ride. In addition, Matt Wilpers had a Strength for Runners class from August 28th that was fairly popular that was also purged. Class library maintenance is Peloton's removal of older classes from the on-demand library, as you guys all probably know, that are now taking place more routinely on Friday, as announced back in April of 2023. Around 21 weeks worth of classes have now been removed over the past 8 weeks. And this is the majority of classes from the April 2019 through September 2019 timeframe. So I don't know. For me, I guess I don't take a lot of historical classes.
Neither do I. Yeah. I mean, I spoke about this, each week that we've been doing it. John and I, Prue and I have chatted about it, and it's very rare for me to go back and do it. I mean, there's so much new content on on the platform that for folks really that, I can't believe that they'd go back. But that actually does take me into the next story, John, which is that there does seem to be some very unhappy Peloton running members at the moment with all of these class purges, because a petition was started on change.org titled Save Marathon Race Prep, Stop Peloton from Deleting Classes. So the petition, which has garnered, at the time of recording, 220 signatures so far, it's aimed at Peloton's Chief Content Officer, Jen Carter. And basically the petition was started by members of the Peloton community who are concerned that the practice of deleting these older classes, including the marathon race prep classes by Bex, Matt, and Robin, are going to disappear. They argue that these classes are unique and offer immense value to those training for marathons and other races, due to the way that these classes were structured, the pacing, the coaching, the class structure. So the petitioners acknowledge that they can't stop Peloton from deleting all old classes, classes, but they are pleading with the company to keep the marathon race prep classes and to bring back the ones that have already been deleted. So they argue again that the pacing, coaching, and class structure provided in these classes are invaluable. They also note the scarcity of 45-minute and 60-minute classes, and that these classes are meaningful and adored by the community. So the petition was started by an original member of Bex Beats, a group dedicated to Bex Gentry. And the petitioners are asking for support from the wider Peloton community, whether they are marathon runners or not, to sign the petition. So definitely, this has riled some of the runners up with these class purges.
Well, that's helpful because I had heard about the petition, but I thought it was like more broad. It was just about the purging. But the way you've described it, it's like more about like that particular kind of structure of class for like marathon running. Like they're looking to.
That's something. Sorry to interrupt you, but I'm just thinking in my head. That's something that yes, somebody would want to go back to. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's something that if you're, maybe you ran a marathon 2 years ago and you really like the structure of what they had provided, and now you want to, you're going to run a marathon now. You'd like to go back to that training schedule, and that helps.
That makes sense.
So that I can really understand. It makes tons of sense, and I hope somebody's hearing this now, and I hope that somebody, that they get to see the petition and that they think to do that.
Yeah, that's a little different. There's a nuance there that I hadn't caught originally, but that's a little different. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
Cool. Well, there's a new summer apparel line. The new Peloton apparel collection is dropped. It's being called Tropical Nights, and it includes a variety of tropical and summer-inspired styles and colors. Peloton described it as blooming new prints, mood-boosting hues, and vacation vibes. I checked it out, and there are like aqua colors, and they do look kind of like tropical. And then like the imagery when they put out the ads are like someone's on a beach or they're in like a tropical like forest. Like I saw Cody with a backdrop of like some type of tropical forest. And so it makes me want to go on vacation. That's what I get from it. Like I want to go somewhere now, but they look pretty cool.
It looked cool. I haven't purchased anything yet, but there were a couple things that I liked that did actually look cool. So that was that was very nice.
I like the aqua-like colors. I kind of like this. I don't tend to buy a lot of Peloton apparel anymore. I used to buy it all the time, but I kind of like the aqua-like colors. I was cool with that.
I know it's so expensive, and I know. I just sat going through stuff in my closet, thinking I got to purge some of the stuff. I have so much stuff in there.
Yeah, me too. Same.
Yeah, some of the vintage stuff I don't think I ever want to get rid of, but there is definitely stuff that that needs to go. That's had its day. That's had its day.
Yeah, I'm the same. And also, June marks Pride Month in the United States, and Peloton is celebrating all month long with special dedicated classes. A number of Pride classes have already aired, and more are on the live schedule over the coming weeks, including a special 2-for-1 ride with Benny Adami and Erik Jager. Peloton has also been encoring classes from previous years throughout the month. Members can expect to receive a special 2023 Pride Celebration badge, see badges I love, upon completion of any Pride class. Note that some classes may not be explicitly labeled as Pride, but can still earn you a Pride badge. Peloton has also historically dropped an apparel collection around Pride. However, they have shared that they will not be doing so this year, according to Peloton. They state, "We will not have a Pride apparel collection this year. Our team is focusing on creating impactful Pride Month programming that will offer a variety of classes, music, and artist series. Stay tuned for more to come by checking back into our Pride collection on the Peloton platform." I've got Pride gear from past years. I guess it just kind of gets back to the Peloton apparel deal. So like I don't know. How much can I have? Yeah.
To be honest with you, I was disappointed. I do like the Pride stuff that comes out, and I wear it very proudly. So I was disappointed that they weren't dropping something, but they put some amazing content out there. I will say that.
Yeah.
And I think you had said in the story that it was the United States. I believe that it's across the world because I know that, the UK are celebrating, Pride Month as far as June goes. So I don't believe it's just the US. And the content that they're putting out is truly amazing. Truly amazing. So, I get that. I guess they have to focus their energies somewhere, and it spreads them too thin. But I was disappointed.
I get the disappointment also. I do get it because, I see like the apparel as part of the celebration, right?
Yes.
And so like it's not only about like, there's this, Pride gear that you can purchase. It's like, I'm an ally and I want to be a part of the celebration, and thus the new gear aligns to that. So I get all that. That makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Yep. You said that very eloquently, and you're 100% right, because I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. All right. Well, there are tons of birthdays being celebrated. The first one was Selena. Selena Samuela celebrated her birthday on Thursday, June the 23rd. And then there were twins, Andy and Dennis, both celebrate their birthday Friday the 24th. So there's a double celebration with those two. And then Katie Wong, today, Sunday the 26th, because obviously the episode is being released today, but Katie is celebrating her birthday today. So amazing birthdays coming out of the instructors. So huge best wishes and happy birthdays from us here at Pelo Buddy.
Absolutely.
All right, John. So we are going to move right into Instructor in the news. And you are going to kick it off with Logan. Tell us what he's up to.
Yeah, well, Logan is training for the Chicago Marathon. He recently shared the news both in class and via his Instagram stories. The Instagram story has since expired, but you can still view it via the Pelo Buddy YouTube channel. According to Logan, he'll be training for 18 weeks. His goal is to complete within 3 hours and 30 minutes. He's also hoping to raise $3,000 for a donation to the Christopher and Dana Reeves Foundation, dedicated to the cure of spinal cord injury. Logan and Peloton have previously collaborated with the Christopher and Dana Reeves Foundation. In November of 2022, Peloton launched a seated adaptive strength program and a collection geared towards caregivers. The following month, they hosted a virtual community event. We also anticipate that Peloton will feature the Christopher and Dana Reeves Foundation at the Chicago stop of Peloton on Tour. We will share details about those events as they are announced. The 2023 Chicago Marathon will take place on October 8th. You can follow along with Logan's marathon training journey via his Instagram account. Those interested in donating to Logan's fundraiser can do so via his dedicated fundraising page on the foundation website. You can find the URL on pelobuddy.com. And so best of luck and best wishes to Logan on his marathon journey and his fundraising for this meaningful charitable organization.
Yeah, really impressive. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I know so many people that are going to be doing the Chicago Marathon. So
it'll
be fun to cheer them on. So that'll be awesome. Well, this past Wednesday was summer solstice, and Times Square have had a wonderful event that they put on in opening up yoga for those that are interested. Last year, we saw Peloton being featured, and this year we did again. So the beautiful Kara Michelle was the featured yogi to lead a class of thousands, if I'm not mistaken. There were so many beautiful people out in Times Square who followed along, and she had the support of Mariana Fernandez, Kristen McGee, and Nico Serrani, who were helping folks because it really was spread extensively across Times Square. So they were also on side stages helping folks out. It was beautiful to see. Folks got a Peloton yoga mat when they arrived that they were all sitting on, and they were all turned to the pink side. So Times Square was, scattered in pink yoga mats with folks all over them. I also saw Andy was there. I believe Dennis may have been with Andy. The two of them were in the crowd. Tons of Peloton members were out there as well. The gorgeous moms of Peloton, Melissa Ferrara, was there, and she did a fantastic reel that she posted on her Instagram of the experience, and literally from start to finish, which was really great. So definitely head over to Melissa's Instagram to get to see that. But Mariana and Kira, and of course Kristen and Nico all had stuff on their Instagrams as well. But obviously, by the time this airs, those will have disappeared. But it really was an amazing community event, and it was fantastic to get to see Peloton being featured the way that they were.
Yeah, that's cool stuff. I saw a few people members who were there, post about their experience there. So, including Melissa. So that was pretty neat. I love that. It seems like it would be great exposure too for the instructors and Peloton in the middle of Times Square, no doubt, right?
Can you imagine? Yeah. I mean, if anyone doesn't know about Peloton at this point in New York, you're living under a rock.
Right?
And you're right. The exposure of the yoga instructors is just fantastic. Right. I mean, to just see them, shining as they were. They just were amazing. Yeah.
Well, cool. Also, Cody Rigsby, Jocelyn Thompson-Rule, and John Hosking were interviewed for You magazine. Each Peloton instructor shared their own methods of self-care, de-stressing, and mental wellness that help them thrive. Amongst many other things, Jocelyn said she tries to instantly gain perspective when feeling overwhelmed. She said she asks herself, what am I nailing now that I wasn't 3, 6, or 9 months ago? She says it's also useful for her to have an overview of what's happening ahead, both in anticipation of increased stress and also to see where any breaks are coming. John Hosking shared that apart from exercise, he likes to take time out for his hobbies. He said painting and pottery have been an incredible escape for him, as well as playing golf with a group of his best friends. And Cody shared that he puts on music when he gets home. He said he likes to pair that with cooking or a nice warm shower in his nighttime beauty routine. Let's see. You can get to the link to read more about that full article on pelobuddy.com. And there's a lot in there. I just kind of paraphrased and added a couple things. But they talk and
I haven't had a chance to read it yet, John, and I'm embarrassed. I mean, John Hosking's my boy, but I haven't had a chance to read it yet, so I'll definitely go and take a look at that. But that looks like an amazing article.
Yeah, as I was writing it, I was thinking, oh man, I'm like, they gave so much of their own kind of experience and the things they do that I felt like I'm kind of cheating it, just kind of summarizing these little tiny lines, right?
We want you guys that are listening to the show to go and read it yourself. We don't want to give you all the secrets away. Gotta go read it. We gotta go read it. Well, talking about secrets, if you are a Mariana Fernandez fan, as John Mills and I are, she was featured, oh my goodness, on episode 650 of Ali on the Run with Ali Fella. And I mean, how can you, firstly, just listening to Mariana speak, I could listen for hours and hours and hours. She is just the most energetic, warm, beautiful human being. And this podcast was absolutely amazing. And it spoke of her, incredible journey into running. And obviously, her mom being a huge part of her getting to where she is. And it's an amazing podcast. So if you haven't had a chance to take a listen to it, I definitely encourage you. This is one not to be missed. I mean, Ali in herself is just so lovely and wonderful to listen to. But seeing the excitement of the two of them talking to each other in itself was really cute. Ali was saying, I've kind of followed you forever, Mariana, and it's so exciting for me to have you, have you sit here, on my podcast. And Mariana saying, oh my God, Ali, I've been listening to you forever. And, through the lockdown and through the pandemic, I never really used to, Mariana said she never really used to listen to podcasts, and Ali was one that she ended up listening to.
Right.
So it was really sweet. It was really sweet to see the two of them kind of come together that way. Just to chat so naturally. So naturally.
Mariana is just pure, just joy and love. When I talked to her a week or two ago for a little while, and I've kind of reached out to her before in the past, but that is all. It's just pure joy and love when you're around Mariana. Yeah. So I'm a huge fan of that, and so it makes me a huge fan of her. So yeah, she's amazing.
Right. Yeah, I think
awesome.
they broke the mold after they made Mariana Fernandez.
Oh, yeah.
I've told her that before. Oh, yeah. She is
definitely
the kindest. She's going to be all embarrassed because I know she listens to the show. So she's going to be all embarrassed when she listens to this because she hates being made a fuss over. But she's deserving of being made a fuss over. She's incredibly, just an incredible human being. And so it's just so wonderful to see her, blossom as she has within the Peloton community, and she's so humble about it, how she got started, and it was through the pandemic. So to see her really become, this powerhouse within the Peloton instructors, entourage. It's great. Yeah. It's fantastic.
Who she is is like I meet a lot of people, but when you feel like people like that have that light. Like you got to protect it, and I call that stuff out because that's a special thing. So yeah, sure. I'm a big fan. Big fan.
Right there with you. I love that.
Cool. Well, on June 19th, to coincide with Juneteenth, Dr. Chelsea Jackson Roberts was featured in Ebony magazine. In the article, she talks about her journey from using yoga for exercise into helping her navigate grief and life in general after the loss of her college roommate to gun violence. She described her college experience at Spelman College. She also talks about the founding of her yoga literature arts camp for young girls on the Spelman campus, a college campus in 2013. She says it was an effort to make the practice more accessible to local communities. To quote Dr. Jackson Roberts, I love that wellness is normalized now. It's so beautiful. With this camp, it's also intergenerational. Not only are we serving these young girls, but the grown women coming in to facilitate and teach are also being inspired by this next generation to take better care of themselves. You can find the link to read more about this article on pelobuddy.com. I think that's incredible. That's one of those things where, you can tell that's like somebody's like calling because she took it back to her college and instituted something there where she's like, benefiting other young women and women in general, intergenerational. So I just think that whole thing is just amazing. That's cool stuff.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely. Well, she's amazing too. The community, the entire instructor community it is wonderful to see how they've taken this platform that they are just, celebrities on now and have really given back to so many out there, which in itself is so fantastic. So,
So absolutely.
Congrats to her on that. All right, John. Well, I think we will head right into class picks of the week. I will go ahead and start it off, and we'll basically go 2-2. So I'll do 2, you do 2, and we'll go from there. Sound good?
That sounds good.
And get through these. All right. Kicking it off, our boy, Cody Rigsby, his 30-minute Little Kim ride from the 15th. It was at 7 p.m. Eastern. This one was recommended by Aris Dawn G and Amajar 3. They said, rate this one a 15 out of 10. Great throwback music. So Cody nailed that Little Kim ride. That's awesome to see. And then Bex Gentry, she had a 30-minute Father's Day run. It was from the 16th at 10 a.m. This one came from eCamp 1017, UTE Collins, and Gracie Canoli. They said Bex was so genuine with what she shared during the run. So I guess you have to do it if you want to hear what she shared.
And there it is. Awesome. And then we have Hannah Corbin's 30-minute country happy hour ride from June 16th, 2023 at 3 p.m. Eastern. That comes to us from K Greg 007. And they say, fun to see both Matt Wilpers and Dennis Morton live in studio for this class. And we also have Bradley Rose and his 45-minute 80s ride from June 17th, 2023 at 7 a.m. Eastern. And that comes from Amajard 3. And they say, fun playlists. We need more 45-minute classes from Bradley. Awesome.
Awesome. Amaja has been very busy on the platform. I tease every week about this, but we got a pic of Callie Gullickson's 30-minute upper body strength. Also from the 17th, 8 a.m. Eastern. They said 30 minutes of fun flew by. And then Ash Pryor, love seeing this. Ash did a 20-minute Juneteenth row from the 17th. It was at 10 a.m. Eastern. Ride, Run, Rose 23 recommended this one, and they said some really good messages from Ash during this row and worked up a great sweat.
Awesome. And then we have Charlotte Wedenbach's 30-minute medal ride from June 18th at 5:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And this comes from Billy Yates, Billy Yates 3, I think that is. And they say Yeah, I think so. And they say great message about contrast and in English. Yes. And then we have Tunde Oyenian's 45-minute intervals and arms ride from June 18th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And this comes from B. Simon Says, and they say, such a good ride.
Awesome. Then Christine Derkley, she did a 60-minute Power Zone endurance ride. That one was on the 18th of June, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Spins and 23 recommended this one. And they said, in Christine's own words, on this ride, we celebrate gratitude for where we've come from and what we've gone through to get to where we are. We celebrated endurance, our emotional endurance, that is. We celebrated that we actually get to be here and do what we do. And we celebrated fathers who show up for their children even when their world is falling apart. What a beautiful message. Beautiful message. So that's a great one for all the PZ riders out there, definitely. And then Ben Alldis, he had a 20-minute total body strength. That was from the 19th. And my good friend Estonian Chick recommended this one. Lena said, it's tough, but so good. Still so sore.
That's awesome. And then we have John Hoskins' 20-minute high energy run from June 20th at 2:35 a.m. Eastern Time. And that comes from Estonian Chick as well. And they say energy was fully there. John totally crushed it. We also have a Marcel Marr 30-minute full body strength from June 20th at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. That also comes from Estonian Chick. And they say his playlists are consistently so good that 30-minute of hard work just flew by.
Yeah, I love how diverse Lena is, and she really gets into the instructors and specifically, pushes the German instructors, which I love. And she's not German,
awesome.
But I love that she does that. Yeah, it's really awesome to see. The next one is mine. It was 30-minute yoga flow that Kristen McGee had done. It was from the 20th. It was from 7:30 a.m. I did not do it live because I was being a very good mom on Monday. And if those that follow me know how I ran to go and get my daughters and had to move them from an airport to a train station. But I did come back and do it on demand that afternoon. And I have to say, Kristen definitely gives a very personal narrative in her classes, which I love. She shares a lot, and she has been through a lot. And, it just was so amazing to hear her talk about just being good to oneself and just looking at the positive. She spoke about how her son, Robert, sometimes has a rather negative attitude, and how being able to look at something in a different way and make it into a positive experience is so valuable. And I took away from that. I mean, I am a very positive person, but it was lovely to get to hear her share that and just be so raw and honest. So a huge shout out to Kristen for that yoga flow. And I'm just getting back into the yoga. It was a beautiful flow, absolutely beautiful flow. And then Jess Sims did a 60-minute bike boot camp. It was a full body one, also from the 20th of June. It was at noon. And this one came from Alicia Jaden, Rebecca Trigolio, and UTE Collins. And they said great ass kicking with pearls of wisdom as well.
That's awesome. I love Jess Sims, by the way. She's awesome. And then we have a Leanne Hainsby 30-minute intervals arms ride from June 20th, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And this comes to us from Daisy Mack, GPM 585, and Amajar 3. And they say very challenging 3-to-1 efforts with an amazing class plan. That's awesome. Then we also have a Rebecca Kennedy 10-minute Madonna standing core strength from June 21st at 4 a.m. Eastern Time. And this comes to us from Lady Ginger and Jenny Carleen. And they say the standing core classes are always a great change of pace, plus the great Madonna music.
Awesome. Yep. And then Madonna featured again, this time with Alex Kowarski in a row. It was his 10-minute row from the 21st. It dropped on the 21st. Braden J21 said, just a fun, quick class. And then Ali Love, she had a 15-minute dance music bar class, also from the 21st. This one was recommended by Ringette Mom, as well as Love Squad Peloton. They said unique and good burner for 15 minutes.
Awesome. Shout out to Ali. I just saw her. She was very kind to me and Erica, and I appreciate it. Ali, love you. All right. And then we have Emma Lovewell's 20-minute groove ride from June 21st at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And this comes to us from Steph with NF. And they say, great playlist and loved all the choreography.
All right, and then I'll go with the last two, because that second to last one again was one of mine. I have always been, and everybody that watches the show regularly will hear me say this over and over and over again. I am such a huge advocate for the meditation, and it truly, truly saved me over these last 7 months. I meditated every morning, every afternoon, every evening at least, sometimes in the afternoon, because I just needed to be part of the community. And someone that has been incredibly special to me on the platform has been Aditi Shah. And Aditi did a 10-minute gratitude meditation from the 21st, which happened to have been my 1,550th meditation.
Awesome.
But again, it was just recognizing how grateful I am that I'm healthy, that I am happy, and that I am able to do this. And, folks, if you just need those few minutes to, put your phone on Do Not Disturb, to just just tell everybody to leave you alone and just, do something for yourself, these meditations are fantastic. I wish I could tell my dog to leave me alone, but she insists on sitting right at my feet as I meditate. But it really was a fantastic meditation. And then to round up this week's picks of the weeks, Hannah Frankson, a 30-minute hit and heels ride. It was also from the 21st at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. This one was recommended by Fit Hutchie, and they said, even if you aren't feeling like riding, give this one a go. Those final intervals will really wake you up. So thank you, folks. Wow, these are an amazing array of, different classes that were recommended. And, we love that you folks take the time to send these into Chris so that we can feature them on the show. So thank you so much for doing that. And I guess, John, that wraps it up.
That was fun.
Seamlessly, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you're always professional. You keep it all in line, right?
I've learned. It's taken me almost 3 years to get there, John. At least now I have my fancy. I have my fancy. What are you saying? Control room's giving me crap in the background.
Giving you some grief.
Yeah, Chris, you shut up. Yeah. Keep it on track. I've got my beautiful new microphone that works beautifully. Everything's working properly. I'm very excited.
Yes. Well, you do a great job. You look beautiful. This whole thing was fun for me. Sweet. And I appreciate it. I appreciate you all.
Thank you. And I appreciate you. Thanks, John, for being here and for doing this with us. And folks, as always, thank you so much for taking the time to listen. We really do. As John Pruitt and I have said multiple times, we do this for fun. We do this because we love the community. We love being able to give back to the community. This is just a great way to keep you up to date with what's been happening in the Peloton world, each week. And we're so grateful that you do take the time to listen or watch us. So thank you for doing that. And John, hopefully I get to see you up in New York soon. I do have a couple, as I said, I'll be there on the 10th. Won't be a men's class unless some miracle happens. And I do believe in miracles.
Yeah.
I do believe in miracles.
It might happen. And I may have a gig in London in September, so I may be there actually. I don't have the exact date yet, but I'm still trying to land it. I'm still trying to land this gig, so we'll see.
You and I will chat off camera, but I will be in London in September. So who knows? Could you imagine if we'd be there together?
Right. That'd be great.
That would be phenomenal. That would be phenomenal.
Yes.
All right. We'll make it happen.
Yes.
All right,
absolutely.
Folks. Well, for me here in Maryland, thanks once again for listening, and we will see you next week.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.